because I'd looked up Halo, and the Halo machinimas had come up, and Dark Spire Films was the first one I saw. And I watched it, and I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of went over to Digital Fear and a couple of other ones, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Can I do that? Did a little bit of research, figured out that this amazing Dazzle DVC 170 or whatever is what you use with this stuff. Went and picked one up and just started doing that and just posting videos for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Just wanted to do it for fun. Most of them are still on my channel. If you'll search, I think if you search Call of Duty The Shot, that was the day I purchased my Dazzle. I went down and I hooked it up and did a few tests, and then I got my friends on it for Call of Duty, or whoever was on. It was really early in the morning, if I remember correctly. And we shot a stupid little short. Just made it up and went along from there. I did not know how to cut, so I would literally capture everything for that shot and then stop it when I wanted it to cut, because I didn't know how to do editing at that point, which is pretty sad. But yeah, that's why like some stuff takes forever in those videos. Like when I did the Saving Private Ryan one, the bullet travel time was outrageous, and it was hilarious. And a lot of the time I would record it, I think, on my dad's laptop mic, and it was just terrible sounding. Sometimes when the TV was on too. So that was pretty bad. But yeah, as far as starting to be a YouTuber, I mean, it was just like, I just kept posting videos. People kept coming, and then I got contacted by Machinima, and it went from there. And it was pretty awesome. It started just being stuff posted on Machinima's channel. My channel started getting bigger, and from posting stuff on Machinima, and then I started making more stuff, and then it just kind of went from there. That's how it started. So it was pretty cool. I just went with it. Why do you always wear the same hat? This is the big one where I'm going to explain this. This hat has been with me for, like I said earlier, 6 years, and I can't part with it. I found this hat, and I'll go into that. I found it later I can go into it later about where exactly I found it, because someone actually asked that specifically. But I found it at a Lids store or something like that, and the fact that I found this batting practice, which has this little black thing here and like the normal Cardinals hat, and it's fitted, which is something I really prefer. So anyway, I found it, and I was like, I gotta have this. And at the time, I think I purchased a Tiger Woods one too, like a Nike swoosh with the TW on the back, Tommy Wiseau. TW! So there's a TW, and a Sasquatch, and I think a one thing on the side, like the classic Tiger hat. It was black, and it was like 2 for $15. I was like, I gotta get the Cardinals one too. So that's what I got. The Tiger Woods one ended up breaking. The bill wasn't made as well as this one, and it ended up breaking when I was breaking it in, or a few months later. And then I just wore this one ever since. I have actually lost this hat in a mountain lake up in Rocky Mountain National Park. It was 70 mile an hour to 100 mile an hour gusts up there at the time, and it blew off my head out into the lake, probably about 100 yards. Kept going. It was long gone. I was taking off my pants ready to jump in to swim after, but it was so far out there, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I lost my favorite hat. Luck would have it, wind stopped, wind turned. My hat from that far out came right back to the little rock I was standing out on, the little peninsula thing. Came right back to me. I picked it up, I looked at it, and I put it on. It was soaking wet and freezing cold mountain lake water. It was hot outside though, so it felt good. But yeah, I put it on. It was amazing. I can't tell you, that is fate, man. It's fate that hat would turn around and come back. You can't beat it. I can't let this hat go. Unless I switch out for a new one. But anyway, I'm going to keep this hat. I'm going to keep it. I may not wear it all my life, but I'm going to keep it all my life. Because that is important. Oh, man. Anyway, let's mark that one off. That is why I wear this hat, okay? Important. Don't ever forget it. This is a special hat. What is my favorite hunting game? I have a few different ones. Probably one of my biggest is the one I played on my channel, Trophy Hunter, or Big Game Hunter 2005, I think it was. It was somewhere in that area. Whatever the older one is I have on my channel that I had to go find. That one was pretty sweet. And then the other one I really liked was the original Cabela's Dangerous Hunts. It wasn't really an accurate hunting game, but it was just cool. I just liked it. It was kind of what started out, and they had like they pretty much had a wave system in it too, like a panic mode where you could be surrounded by a different kind of animal per environment that just keep charging you, and you have a gun to take care of them. It was pretty cool though. I liked it. I want to say that the Big Game Hunter was probably my favorite though, because I'd spent more time out of anything, and then I figured out that I got into working with the editor on it. It was pretty fun. I made a couple of really stupid maps, but hey, that's when I didn't really know anything about map making. But it was still fun to spawn like 1,000 caribou that, you know, made my computer go to like at the time, because it had a whole 256 megabytes of RAM. Favorite hunting game, just answered that. I can't really think of any other ones besides that. Like some of the older Deer Hunters were pretty fun. I think Deer Hunter 4 was one of my favorites. That's about it. Favorite sport to watch and play. If you want to consider golf a sport, I like watching golf and I like playing it, because it's like one of those things where you come back or you're out on a Sunday or something, or a Saturday, or at the time I didn't have Golf Channel, or so I didn't get the Thursday, Friday, but on Saturday, Sunday, just come back, lay down, take a nap while you're watching golf. It's the greatest thing ever. And I just love looking at all those professional greens and stuff. And I also like playing it. It's a blast. I haven't played it in a long time, sadly. And I just got myself a new set of irons about a year ago, and I still haven't had a chance to really try them out too much, which is kind of sad, because they're, you know, I want to get back into it. So I would consider that my favorite. If you don't consider golf a sport, probably baseball, because I did play that when I was a kid a lot, and then I played it when it was like little league, like smaller fields, and I got up to the bigger fields, and it got more serious, and it just got boring. So I just stopped playing for the most part. That's what happens with sports. It gets boring when you get too serious. So that's kind of what stopped my love of the baseball. But I like watching it, probably more than anything else. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. The next question is Far Cry 2 or 3. Now, I've played more. I haven't finished Far Cry 3 yet. I will soon, because I'm just blowing through it now compared to when I was trying to go slow. I think that both games, I like the fact that I like the story behind Far Cry 2 a little bit better. I just kind of like the setting. But the fact that Far Cry 3 kind of improves on every gameplay mechanic in 2 and just makes it a little bit better is just awesome as far as gameplay wise. So it's fun, and I like, you know, Far Cry 3, but I think I preferred, you know, like the setting and kind of the storyline of Far Cry 2, because I don't know, I just think it's pretty cool. It's a little more diverse with the like landscape than Far Cry 3 is, because then it's all jungle and water, which is still, you know, it's a change of. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just trying to compare the two things that I like and dislike. So yeah, I'd say both. I like both of them. Probably about equally, but I mean, like the lack of gameplay stuff in Far Cry 2 compared to 3 kind of just evens everything out. So that's my answer to that. Okay, this is a general question. What happened to blank series? What happened to any series that I've started? There's a good chance that I will never finish a lot of the series I start, because something happens and I don't want to get into it. Especially with Machinima series. And then there are, you know, like gameplay series, which I could go back to, because I can just kind of pick that up where I left. So be expecting. I actually wrote down a list of like the stuff I haven't finished and kind of needs to be finished as far as gameplay series, and it's sitting over there, so I'll get to it. I'm actually going to sit down and record Dead Space after this, so I can finish that before the third one comes out. I'm just going to throw it on casual too. I don't know if I can. I don't want to sit there for hours and hours on Zealot. So that's pretty much like the answer. I don't want to say, you know, I'm doing this series now. I want to make sure people know that there's a chance I'll go back and finish whatever series, but, you know, it depends. If it was, usually what'll happen is I'll start a series and it just kind of flops and no one's really interested, then I'll kind of lose, you know, the drive to do it, and then just kind of wait and, you know, start up later. I know I have a few games that did that, and then some games I just stop recording for whatever reason. I have no idea why. So that's pretty much what's the deal with that. It's not the best idea to just ask about it. It might be, because what'll happen is I'll be like, oh, he's showing interest in that series, I should really boot it up again. So it's a good thing to ask, because it'll kind of remind me constantly that people are kind of expecting to see so-and-so series. So that's a good thing. So yeah, I'm not saying don't ask it anymore. I'm just saying it's not really an easy question to answer. It's, you know, meow, 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 meow. What is your favorite game? Right now, my favorite game, I have always been a massive fan of Mass Effect, and I think that's, you know, pretty much the game I'm always going to love the most. It's just, you know, it's something that I've just loved playing for every single Mass Effect. I'd say that it would be Mass Effect, and then like Skyrim, Far Cry. I think those are my top 3. Mountain Blade is up there too. That game is amazing. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, Mass Effect, you can't beat it. That's just, it's my kind of game. I've been into that plenty of times before, so, and most people do know that, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. What kind of music do you listen to? I'm kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of like the mainstream like stuff that everyone listens to. It's more of like I love movie scores. I love some kind of electronic, you know, techno-y music. Like I was kind of a fan of, I have most of Tiesto's stuff. I just like listening to his stuff. And then I love Pendulum. Pendulum's great. And then a band called The Fonts. They're kind of the ones I listen to. And then I have a lot of, it sounds kind of weird, but I have a lot of Irish folk music, like the High Kings and the Dubliners, yeah, I just like listening to that stuff when I'm like doing, I don't know why. It's kind of strange, I know, but hey, it's great music, and people from Ireland will probably vouch for that. It's, you know, they have a great musical heritage there. And I like I said, I like movie scores, and I like anything that, it's pretty much anything that catches my attention and I like listening to. I'll kind of go out and research it. I'll go on, I'll have Pandora open and I'll hear something and I'll kind of look into it and see if I like the rest of the stuff they do. Well, like whatever band does, and then I'll kind of go and buy all their albums to listen to when I'm doing stuff. So that's, I mean, like I said, I don't really have like a whole bunch of set. Like I said, the few that I really have a lot of are Pendulum, The Fonts, and Tiesto. And I'm actually gonna open up iTunes really quick and see if anyone I missed. I like the band Skillet. I actually saw them in concert when I was in middle school, so I've always really liked listening to them. I like listening to to Chuck Mangione. I don't know if anyone knows who he is. He actually did like when he was in the Lake Placid Olympics. He wrote the theme for that. He plays what's called the flugelhorn. It's kind of like a trumpet, and he has some pretty cool jazz. It's like the only jazz I listen to. Let's see here. Yeah, bunch of movie scores. Pendulum, movie scores. There's Skillet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Tiesto. Yeah. So yeah, movie scores, game scores, and you know, a lot of Tiesto and some Irish folk music here and there. That is the kind of music I like. I don't like, you know, any of the pop stuff, you know, rap, all that. I don't know. I used to listen to country a lot. I mean, I'll listen to a country song here or there, but I'm not a diehard fan of country. Like I said, anything that I like listening to, or that I hear that I like, I'll just, you know, kind of listen to it a lot. So yeah, that's what kind of music I listen to. What got you into creating machinimas? Well, it's pretty much the same story as got me into YouTube. I saw that, you know, I was saying I saw Darkspire, and I said, hey, I can do that, and I kind of got into that and learned. I eventually got a better editing software that I was saving for at Best Buy, and I got into editing and getting a little bit better at it at a time. I actually made, I'm going to point this out to you guys, I made some terrible stuff, okay? I'm the first to say I made some awful stuff, and it's hilarious to watch. If you go on YouTube and you search Thermopylae Part 1, you gotta watch all the parts. There's 3 parts. Thermopylae Part 1, Thermopylae Part 2 Act 1, Thermopylae Part 2 Act 2. It's pretty much my retelling of 300, but in Halo form. Oh, it's so bad. There's just so many ridiculous errors. The voice acting is just terrible. Oh, it's so hilarious to watch. Go watch those and, you know, like, fill the comment section again. People probably haven't commented on that video in years. It's so terrible and hilarious, though. Please go watch those if you haven't already. That's like the classic me when, it's just so bad. Like, that's using the Dazzle. That's using, like, a ridiculous mic. I think I was, like, using a Rosetta Stone headset or something like that. It's so bad. Please go watch it. It's awesome. So yeah, that's what, and that kind of progressed from there, and I got more into like editing and visual effects and stuff like that. Okay, man, this is taking a while. How long have I been going? 45 minutes already. I'm not even done with the first page. See, I told you this is going to be long. How did the creatures start? Now, I keep on messing with this pen here. The creatures. I've gone over this before. It's pretty simple. I had a bunch of friends back in the day. We always used to play Call of Duty, and it always, you know, kind of led to us messing around like private matches and here and there, and just kind of figuring out some stuff for, if you remember, Robot Donkey Chronicles, which was kind of like a robot chicken-esque kind of thing, and it was pretty bad too. But it was fun to film. I had a blast doing that. Like with, so I had some friends, Psycho Soldier, Skilled Soldier, and I can't remember his name at the time, but it's Sergeant Bisking now. But they were all cousins that were on, and they were hilarious. And one time when we were filming or trying to film, this one of the guys was like on the ground, and he started switching his weapons, and he's like, "Oh no, keep doing that." And it turns out he did this nasty thing where it's like elbows up in his back, and he's like turned around, and just his legs are moving. It's the most disgusting thing, and it turned into the creature crawl. So that's where I started getting the word creature, and I started using it a whole lot. And that kind of led over into more making machinimas and moving forward. I'd actually met Immortal at that point, and he stole my video idea. Not really. He made a video called The Creature, and everyone thought it was me that made it, and I think that's kind of how they had figured the, you know, I hate Immortal thing, which is kind of funny. So I had met Immortal a long time ago. He actually lived out in Massachusetts when I did too, so we could have met up at PAX Prime, but we never did. So yeah, I'd met him and kind of hung out with him for a little bit and talked to him, not too much though, and then I kind of got busy with other stuff. And anyway, yeah, the creature thing, and then I just got into that, and then when people started coming around hanging out and doing stuff together, the creature word was contagious, which led to the whole group thing that I talked about earlier. So yeah, that's how it started. That's how it started, the creature Wookiee crawl. People are asking, what was your best placing in an archery competition? I got a lot of firsts, not because I was just amazingly good or anything. It was because, you know, there weren't always a lot of people or kids in my class, because I was like the ages 14 to 18 or something like that for guys. So there weren't a whole lot of kids that were in my class, or you know, like it's called a class, but it's like, you know, I can't even think of the word right now. Anyway, like people that fit that age group or whatever, there weren't a whole lot of people in that. I mean, at the most, there's probably like, when I went to a bigger shoot, you know, there's like 15 to 30 kids in there. But I mean, I'd get first place a lot, sometimes second, and probably the biggest one I'm proud of is there was nationals. What they do is they'd shoot all over the country and then combine the scores. If you shoot archery, it's called the NAA. They kind of run, it's called the National Archery Association. They run, I think they run the Olympic team and stuff like that. Anyway, so I shot there. I shot at the one, it was in Andover, Massachusetts, for the northeastern like section or region. So we were really close. It was super convenient. and I got first there, and I got third in the entire nation for my age group, which was probably one of the ones that I was more proud of. It was pretty awesome though. I liked it. I had a blast competing, and I got too into it, and I got sick of it and stopped pretty much and got more into computers or golf. I had golf at the time. So that's why I'd warn anyone who's getting into archery that wants to do competition, be careful, because if you get too serious with it, it'll lose its fun. It should be fun. That's just the way it's supposed to be. I did actually at one point go to Las Vegas to shoot the World Archery Festival. I did terrible because I was so nervous because it was just a massive tournament. I did pretty bad, and but it was an amazing experience. So that's a little bit in my archery competition days. I'm gonna try and move along here because my throat's getting really dry from talking this month. Talking this much. Ugh. What events are you planning to go to in 2013? We had touched on this on Creech Talk not too long ago. We are going to go to E3. We're going to attempt to go to PAX East, maybe. I don't know if I want to go to that. I don't like Boston very much. Go to PAX, go to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con, maybe PAX Australia, PAX Prime, and then Eurogamer. I think we're going to try and go to all those if possible, plus or minus. That's like the ones we're going to try and go to. And then we're going to the DICE Awards here in about a week. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to try. I can't guarantee all of those, and then if there's another Minecon, then depending on where that is, we might go again, because I think a few of us went in Vegas, and then Paris we didn't go. And yeah, we'll see where it's announced this year. I can't remember if they had mentioned it or if it's in London or not. That'd be pretty cool. Will you ever play more games with Monica? Yes, we will be playing more games together. We actually got a Wii U, so we're planning to do stuff on that, but I need to hook up my stuff down there whenever I record, so we'll probably record a whole bunch at once. There's a lot of good games for that that we'll do, and we want to try and get together and play, like a game a week or something. So we have like a regular series going with it, because she can be fun when she plays games. Even though she does get sick, she gets motion sickness with any 3D game that you like look around, and so we have to kind of stick to more of the 2D games if she's gonna play for more than like 20 minutes. So yeah, that is coming. Oh man, I'm gonna kill my voice. What is my game plan for a zombie apocalypse? I haven't really thought about this too much, but when I saw the question, I was like, I should probably answer this and put a little bit of thought into it. So, I live in probably one of the most perfect places for a zombie apocalypse. Why? The mountains. I would love, well, I wouldn't love to. I mean, no one wants to be in a zombie apocalypse. But if there was a zombie apocalypse, first thing that I would do is I'd stock up. I would, hopefully I'll have guns by then. I haven't even got, I wanted to get a gun, but recently with all the shootings happening, everyone wants to get a gun, so background checks take forever. So if I do, then I would, if I did have them, I would stock up on stuff, of course, and drive up to the mountains, and that would be pretty much where you'd set up camp, and because the mountains would be so secluded that I don't think anything would really reach up there. But you'd be able to find a pretty great place that you could set up and not be bothered by anyone for a very, very long time. Unless the animals got zombified, which they're dangerous in themselves before they're even zombified. So that would be my plan for the most part. Then I'll have all my swords too for close range combat. And yeah, so that's basically my plan. I'd hunt for food, because that wouldn't be too terribly hard. I know how to hunt. That's right, I know how to hunt. And it wouldn't be illegal at that point because everything would be just blowing up. In zombie apocalypse-ified, game plan for zombies is done. What game world would you live in and why? Well, that's obvious, Mass Effect, because it's cool. I think the idea of space travel and being able to go all sorts of different places is pretty sweet. I'm sure it's not as glorious, you know, as it wouldn't be as glorious as they make it out to be, but I think it'd still be pretty cool to live in that universe. So yeah, that would be the answer to that. I would live on the Citadel because that'd be amazing. I'd be on the Citadel all the time. Oh, this one goes back in earlier. What was your first video? Yeah, what was your first video? It was actually, I mentioned it, Call of Duty The Shot. So search Call of Duty The Shot, and if you see a really blurry thumbnail of Call of Duty, I think you see a car, then that's it. It's on, I can't remember the name of the map, Strike? So yeah, go check that out. It's hilarious. That's my first ever video. I can't remember when I posted it. It was like April something 2008, or it was a long time ago. Are kids planned? Yes, they are. Not right now, or it'd be a little ways down the road. So there are kids planned. Can you imagine? Like I said this earlier. Can you imagine a bunch of me running around like, stupid jerks, wearing this? So yeah, kids are in fact planned in the near future. I gotta keep watching this, make sure my recording doesn't stop. Why did you stop saying brown? I did, for the most part, stop saying brown. I've been trying to ingratiate a little bit, but I mean, it's one of those things where you don't want to say something too terribly much, otherwise it gets old, and I felt like it was, and I just kind of stopped saying it and moved on to creature cats for the most part. And I don't want it to be too forced. That's why I'm not trying. I don't know. It just seems like it was getting a little bit old. I don't want it to wear out too fast. I don't know. Maybe you guys wanted me to keep saying it forever. I mean, maybe I'll start up again soon. I don't know. We'll see. It's just one of those things where I didn't want to wear it out, and you guys just hate it. Stop saying brown, you jerk. I'm so sick of you saying brown all the time. What the brown? What the brown, town? What the brown? So what the brown, guys? We're on to the second page. My throat is killing me, and we are an hour in. So if it is the same trend, we will have an hour and a half left. And I have an hour and a half left on my memory card. That's fantastic. I'm going to stop. Well, no, I'll keep it going. Are you working on a big source filmmaker? I'm just going to start moving here because I don't want it to cut me off. Are you working on a big SFM source filmmaker project? I am not currently working on one. I want to, but time does not work in my favor. I am pretty much running two businesses. I'm not running two businesses. I do my job, which is my channel and stuff, and then I also do, you know, like all the creature stuff, like a lot of the back-end creature stuff, making videos, playing stuff, and we're also working on a big project now that isn't source filmmaker, but it is going to be amazing. So I'm going to give you guys a tentative date right now. I don't even know if this video will be up by then, but we're looking into, I'd say, like, starting of February here. It's going to be like the things that we've been working on is going to be released. It's going to be huge, and we need to go big because that's we're trying to make it as big as possible and putting as much work into it as possible. So yeah, we'll need you guys' help. But anyway, yeah, that's something else. We're working on a big project. One of the other big ones. How old are you? I am currently 21 years of age. 21. Okay, that's how old I am. Not too much to say about that. 21 years old. I am in fact the youngest. Besides Z, I'm the youngest one. You know, Z is younger than me, but besides, you know, all the other creatures that live out here, I am in fact the youngest. What is the worst injury you've ever had? I don't know. Jammed my thumb. Sprained my ankle. I did. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I've never had any broken bones. I've never really had any really bad injuries, which is shocking if you knew what I was like as a kid, because I was crazy. I was always out in the woods doing stuff and doing dangerous things with axes, and I could have been dead by now, knowing how crazy I was. But anyway, probably the worst thing that's happened, and this was sheer stupidity, is I had a set of fillet knives, and I was out in the yard having fun with these, stabbing cardboard. And I was stabbing it, just going crazy, and then, you know, fillet knives don't really have a handle made for stabbing. And sure enough, I slipped down, and my whole thumb just got gashed all the way to the bone. And I was like, that doesn't hurt, but that looks really bad. And sure enough, it was bleeding really bad, and I went in and put a paper towel on. I was probably about, like 12 or something like that. Anyway, I was probably closer to 14 or 15. I can't remember what year that was. Anyway, but yeah, I ran in and I pretty much put a